So how does a bank that's been around for 240 years, I mean, a real cornerstone of the financial world, suddenly turn around and have a record-breaking year? Well, today, we're going to break down the incredible story of BNY's 3-year transformation and, what it might tell us about the future of banking itself.
All right, let's just dive right into the results from 2025, because honestly, the numbers are pretty staggering.
First up, their revenue. It jumped a massive 8% year over year, pushing them over $20 billion. Now, for an institution of this sheer size, that is a huge, huge leap.
But here's where it gets even crazier. Their earnings per share, which, as you know, is a super important number for investors, it absolutely skyrocketed by 28%. I mean, that's the kind of growth that makes Wall Street stop and pay very close attention. And they pulled all of this off while hitting a pre-tax margin of 35%. What that really means is they are running an incredibly efficient ship. They're keeping a huge slice of the revenue as profit even before the tax man comes knocking.
So when you see these kinds of astronomical numbers, you just have to ask the question, how on earth does a 240-year-old bank completely change its trajectory and pull off something this dramatic in just 3 short years?
Well, the answer really boils down to this meticulously planned 3-year strategy they called Phase 1. And this was all about rebuilding the entire foundation of the bank from the ground up.
This wasn't some overnight miracle. It was a really systematic process. They kicked things off in 2023 by taking a hard look in the mirror. We're talking deep reviews, a leadership shakeup. Then 2024 was all about putting their money where their mouth was, investing big in their people and in tech. And by 2025, that new engine was just firing on all cylinders, launching huge platforms like their Eliza AI and just blowing past all their financial goals.
This whole transformation was really built on 4 main pillars. It was about acting as one unified bank for their clients, not a bunch of separate departments. It was about scaling up their platforms to drive growth. It was about creating genuinely new products, and the big one, as we're about to see, was about going all in on AI.
Okay, so that's the plan on paper, but what did it actually look like to put it into action? Well, a massive, massive piece of this whole puzzle was embracing artificial intelligence, not just as some buzzword, but as a core part of the business.
And I mean, just look at the sheer scale here. This was not some small-time pilot program. They rolled out Eliza, their own internal AI platform, and got nearly every single employee, 99%, to use it. They launched 160 different AI solutions, created over 100 digital employees, and saved around $500 million in the process. This was a full-on, company-wide AI revolution.
And when you execute a strategy like that, you can draw a perfectly straight line from the plan to those incredible financial results we saw just a minute ago.
Seriously, this chart says it all. For an entire decade, BNY's growth was, well, it was slow. We're talking 1% revenue growth, 7% EPS growth. Now compare that to the last 3 years with this new plan in place, 7% revenue growth, and an absolutely incredible 37% growth in earnings per share. The difference is just night and day.
So what was the real engine driving all this newfound efficiency? It wasn't just some new mission statement. It was technology, and specifically, that aggressive rollout of AI across every part of the company. This chart just visualizes their strategy perfectly. You see the number of AI solutions just shooting up, from 24 to 160. And at the same time, they were able to become a leaner, more focused organization. It's really a textbook example of using technology to do more with less.
But this whole efficiency push wasn't just about making their internal numbers look good. It translated directly into better, faster, and cheaper service, things their clients could actually see and feel.
And hey, the proof is right here in the pudding. The average cost for them to handle these key banking tasks just dropped like a rock. Down 15% here, down a massive 24% there. Those are huge operational gains that go straight to the bottom line. So all of this creates something that people in finance get really excited about. It's called positive operating leverage. And it's a pretty simple idea, really. It just means your income is growing way, way faster than your costs are. For BNY to achieve over 500 basis points of it, well, that's just the sign of an incredibly healthy and well-managed company.
So Phase 1 was a massive success, a total home run. But they are not sitting back and celebrating. Nope, they're already charging ahead into the next chapter.
And Phase 2 is really all about scaling up everything that worked so well. They're going to keep pushing into new technologies like distributed ledgers, but the main goal is clear:
use AI to unlock even more efficiency and growth. And their whole ambition is just captured perfectly in this new mantra of theirs. It's a really powerful signal that the AI revolution inside BNY has only just gotten started, and they plan to weave it into absolutely everything they do.
Which really leaves us with one last big question. BNY's story provides this incredible blueprint for how a legacy institution can totally reinvent itself. So the question we have to ask is, are we watching the new model for the entire future of banking play out right in front of us?